and gentlemen, we are back. This is the MTL Sports Podcast, episode 26. All right, episode 26.
26.
Now, we've been gone for about a week or so. I feel like actually it's probably even more, but we're back. We got some things to talk about. Of course, we're going to continue on with our division breakdowns and rankings. We have the AFC East for you guys today. And after that, we have rapid fire. Of course, we're going to continue with the NFL players, the players now, their top 100 list. We know the list has already fully came out, but we're going to go through 60 to 31, do 30 at a time. And of course, we got our trivia. So please stay tuned. And we're back, y'all. With the AFC East, the second to last division we have to rank and break down in the AFC. If you guys don't already know, this division is kind of killer, right? It's really stacked. We have the Dolphins, we have the Patriots, we have the Dolphins, and we have the New York Jets with Aaron Rodgers. All right, so a lot of talent in the division. A lot of things could or could not happen. But we're going to break it down for you guys, starting with who is going to win this division next year, or I guess this season, because we're in the preseason, all right? So who's going to win this season, division winner, and what is the record? So, Lawrence, I'll kick it off to you. Who do you got? Who's winning?
I think I got another year of the Bills on top. But I did make a note to you when I was going through the Bills record and everything. It's a really hard schedule. That's a killer schedule.
Yeah.
I originally had them at 9 wins, and I was like, dude, no. I need to review what I'm going over because I just don't think that 9 wins is correct for this team. I wouldn't say at full strength, but at full capability of this team is much higher than 9 wins, in my opinion. So I had to review it for a second. So I went with 11-6. It's kind of like the best I can do for them. I'm still questionable at that 11-6, but I do feel like they're going to be the ones to win that division. I got the Jets next at 10-6. I originally had them at 9-7. Then I was like, dude, I'm ranking this division a little too strong, a little too hard for what I actually think the division is. Maybe it's their strength of schedule. Maybe it's just a little questionable. The Patriots, I had 8-9. I feel like a really solid 8-9 is fair for the Patriots. Might be a little bit more than most people are going to give them, but I feel like 8-9 is just about where they are. 7-10. The Dolphins going to be what everyone gets what about, because I got the Dolphins at 7-10.
Wow.
I actually had them at 6-11, but I could still see that, but I don't believe that. Just based on the talent they have on the squad. But you did pay attention to the TikToks I send you, which obviously you don't, because apparently nobody likes to watch TikToks I send them. Anywho, I mean, on 40 snaps, Tua had 11 sacks. So
good.
Just a repeat of last year.
Yep.
So you're just going to lose them by week 4 this time, week 5 this time. And then, right before you chime in, right before you come in, if we hop over to their quarterback roster, we got Tua, Skylar Thompson, who didn't look amazing last year in his starts, and Mike White, who's just a gunslinger, which, in my opinion, isn't the worst thing in the world based on their wide receivers, but he's also not really proven, full season. Mike White hasn't really proven out. He's got a good win or two here, but for a whole season, he hasn't really proved much. So that's kind of where I'm going with. That's why I had the Dolphins so low, because the brunt of their schedule at the very beginning. I mean, they got a lot of good defenses to start the season with, and if And if over 150 of your snaps you're getting sacked, that's just not a way to winning. So
Yeah,
I'll kick it over to
especially in
you. You can
preseason.
tell me your records and your division winner, but I guess my hot take is the Dolphins are very questionable for me.
I understand to a degree. Now, that low, I mean, that's definitely, it was a shock to me. I know it's going to be a shock to others. For me, I have the Bills. I think they have one more year of being, uh, I guess dominant is probably too strong of a word, but
Mm-hmm.
at least being like the king of this division, I feel
We'll
like,
just say victorious, yeah.
yeah, like Aaron Rodgers is coming, the Jets are coming, and I feel like we have two sleepers at the bottom who just haven't quite woken up yet. So I have the Bills a one win higher than you. I had them at 12-5, winning the division. Originally, I had them at 11-6, but I felt like there had to be like a differentiate them between the Jets. And you'll see why in a minute. But I had them at 12-5, which is for me a little bit of a stretch. I definitely more likely see them going 11-6, but I went 12-5 for this episode's purposes, just to make it easier to say who won the division. Next, I have the Jets at 11-6. Um, so it makes sense. I didn't want two teams at 11-6. And for the Jets, I feel like this all comes down to how quickly Aaron Rodgers gels with the team. So far, I mean, Hard Knocks is about to come out with this first episode, but with the clips, with some of the videos on Twitter from some of the journalists and sports media of just how the practices have been going, it seems like it's going in the right direction thus far, and it seems like it's very smooth, and the transition for Aaron Rodgers isn't too big for him to handle. So, I mean, 11-6, it is a bit of a stretch, but if they can gel very quickly and win some of these winnable games early on, I feel like it takes the pressure off of him, because I feel like Aaron Rodgers plays best when there's not a lot of pressure on him. So I have them at second division, 11-6, making the playoffs. Patriots, I have third, 9-8, a win better than you. I feel like last year it was just excuse my language, it's a shit show. You have a defensive coordinator calling your offensive plays, and it just, for whatever reason, I mean, Belichick put that guy in that position. Now he has Bill O'Brien back calling the plays. Mac Jones should be relatively where he was, I feel like, his rookie year, if not like slightly better. The receiving core has gotten slightly better. They should be decent. They're always going to be at an average-ish team. So 9-8 is, I guess that's a good spot for them. Dolphins also have a 9-8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is another reason why I had the Bills with another win. So I didn't want like the top two teams have the same record and the bottom two teams have the same record. It would just be a little weird. But for the Dolphins, they're just the wild card in this division. Like, if Tua stays healthy, 9-8 is definitely achievable. But like you said, 11 sacks and like almost 50 snaps in the preseason, it's
It's
not
only
good.
40.
40. So
It was really
40 snaps isn't good, and it's the preseason, all right? And then just off of what we saw from last year, just getting banged up, beaten around, thrown around. Doesn't matter how much weight he puts on. Doesn't matter what type of plays. You can get him out the pocket so you can just scramble more and avoid getting hit. Doesn't matter. If he's injury prone, if he gets hurt early on, which is honestly very likely, it's going to derail their season. So very possible that they could go way worse, but it's very possible if he stays healthy, they can go 9-8. So that's my spiel.
to be fair to the Dolphins, though, in those amount of sacks he got, like obviously there was no scrambling. It's practice. You're not practicing scrambles. He actually didn't get tackled or anything. He only got two-handed touch and pulled on. So, like, yeah, he could easily have escaped the pressure and everything. That wasn't really the big deal. The big deal was just how quickly the O-line collapsed not every single
Yeah.
time, but majority of the time. So yeah, everyone's gonna say like, oh, he got sacked 11 times, but maybe 4 of those he escapes, and 1 of those he makes a maneuver and gets out of the sack. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. That's 5. That's 5 times. So that means 6 out of 40. That's still not good either. So let's just face it. Like, their coach, he's a good coach, and I think this is something that a lot of teams don't focus on, but I think was smart, in my opinion, like last year by the Texans, how the Texans really went into a rebuild on defense. Let's justify rebuilding our defense first. Yes, our offense will suffer a little bit, but at least in a couple years or a year from now, like at least our defense is settled and it's rebuilt. Now we rebuild offense. It feels like the Dolphins have just been trying to rebuild it all at one time. Like, we'll take their division counterpart. The Jets last year defense was great. It was awesome. It got them to 7-10 record, but they were basically all defensive wins that they did win because their quarterback situation was always questionable. So moving forward to this year, we look at it. Well, the Jets, they did a great job at improving their defense and making it better. Like, yeah, they have Sauce Gardner, but they added pieces to, help him, like DJ Reed. His other corner looks amazing. Their D-line is fabulous. They got a good inside linebacker to basically general the team on the defensive side. So now all we have to do this offseason is focus on where we were weak last year, and that's offense. Okay, so what do? We get Aaron Rodgers. So in 2 years, the Jets have figured out to rebuild their whole team, but doing it piece by piece, section by section. Now the biggest kicker to the Jets is the offensive line. Yeah, we'll see about that, but I don't think the offensive line is as bad as everyone made it out to be. Like last year, the offensive line didn't look horrible. Did it look awesome? No. But only 8 teams in the whole league look like they have an awesome O-line anyways.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, there's only 8 teams in the whole NFL that look like they have the greatest offensive line ever.
Yeah. It's I guess different teams have different strategies, but definitely the one you're talking about, I feel like it's worked the best for a lot of teams as of recently.
And it just seems like something the Dolphins is. We're just gonna try to pick and point and fix every other little position all at one time instead of focusing on one. Then let's move on to the next.
Yeah.
So
moving on, let's. I've already said my 2 playoff teams are coming. Well, I have 2 playoff teams coming from this division: Bills and the Jets. Just wanted to confirm with you.
Oh, I got Bills and Jets. Bills winning the
Jets.
division. I think the Jets slide in there as a 6 seed. I think they could slide in there as a 5 seed. I think the Jets could easily go 11-6, or go 10-7. Either or. I think that probably gets you a 5th or a 6th seed. That was my only takeaway. Was this division plays each other so hard that they're automatically force fed to the 6th or 7th seed, in my opinion. But I mean, you got them finishing 11-6. I think they can finish 11-6. But I got them here at 10-7. Just try to stay a little realistic. I think 7 more wins than last year is about correct. So that's what I went with instead. But yeah, I think that's about a 6 seed, right? I mean, you look around the AFC, there's got to be another 11-6 team out there, top of their playoffs, probably maybe AFC West. So, yeah.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I think it's going to be interesting that AFC 7th seed. I think that's going to be the most interesting position. And, it's actually really good that we keep doing what we going by the schedule and going through these records. Because now it just starts painting another picture about, after we do all these, we're actually going to see who's going to be that team that locks themselves into the playoff for us. So, I've been saying this whole time that oh yeah, there's not going to be 2 AFC South teams that make it. But every time we do these a little bit, it kind of just re-energizes the idea that 7th seed is very open. The AFC is completely brutal from top to bottom in terms of quarterbacks. So anything can really happen with this conference.
Yeah, there's I have a feeling, unfortunately, there's going to be a 10-7 team that just barely gets, cut out of that 7th seed. It's going to come down to logistics and tiebreakers and stuff like that. I have a feeling that's what we're going to head towards. Now let's talk about the rosters, the positional groups, like we've done the past couple episodes. Starting at quarterback, I feel like this is actually the first time we can kind of debate like who has the best quarterback. I mean, there's probably 2 good choices, 3 if you want to say if Tua stays healthy, but who's the best quarterback in this division?
In my opinion, I'm still gonna. Okay, am I going based on guys around him or just strictly? No, I'm gonna go Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, Tua, and then Mac Jones. I think if Aaron Rodgers was maybe 1 or 2 years younger, I think I would have picked Aaron. But it's kind of hard to go against the guy who looks really good in his 6th year versus the guy who looks pretty good in his 19th season at 39 years old. So, but we don't know, man. Brady looked good as he got older, but I just don't know about Aaron.
Yeah,
I just don't know about Aaron.
I feel like,
but right now I'm gonna go with Allen.
Yeah, I want to go Aaron Rodgers, but I feel like we have to include their weapons, and I just feel like Stephon Diggs is just obviously on another tier than Garrett Wilson. I mean, he's a good young player, good young receiver, but he's not Stephon Diggs. And then, like, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have like a legit number 2. Like, he doesn't have a T. Higgins. He doesn't have a Waddle.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can't be looking at things like that, Mr. Spoiled over there. Okay, most teams don't have three wide receivers that can. 2 of them can play one, and the third one can play 2. I mean, but I think if I'm going to have to pick a wide receiving core, which we'll get into in a second, but I'd rather have the Jets wide receiving core just because outside of Diggs, man, there's a reason why Josh Allen be running the ball so much. Gabe Davis ain't that good.
There's other reasons why he runs the ball.
Oh yeah,
probably mostly because he doesn't have a running back. Hasn't had one this whole time. Back. Yeah. Well, we had LaShawn for 1 year, but I'm not gonna talk about that.
He wasn't LaShawn,
Yeah, but yeah, I feel like I want to say like at this age, I feel like Aaron needs the type of like love at receiver that Tom Brady had. Like Tom had Mike, he had Scotty Miller, he had Gronk. Who was the other guy that on Tampa Bay?
He had Mike Evans, Chris Godwin.
Like Chris Godwin's really good. Like I feel like Aaron Rodgers is about to be 40. Like he needs that same type of love. Like we saw last year. Like in the beginning, he just wasn't connected with his receivers. Granted, they were most 2 of them were rookies.
Mm-hmm.
And then this year, he has like brand new teammates. So I mean, it looks good so far in the preseason, but like until we actually see like a real non-preseason game, it's going to be hard to tell if Aaron Rodgers is really gelled and has the chemistry with his guys. So as much as I want to go Aaron Rodgers the best, I think Josh Allen still has the crown. Then probably 2 than Mac Jones. I feel like that's safe to say. Quarterbacks are done.
Here comes running back. This comes scandalous.
Running backs now. Another it's just not looking too good. All right, so
You go first.
See, I don't even know what to say, man. This is just ridiculous. All right, none of these. I feel like the Jets the only one that has like a legit running back. Like Breece Hall
would have questionably been in the offense. Him and his teammate
player of the year. Yeah,
they would have been an offensive rookie. They would have gone head to head for it if he hadn't torn his ACL.
Very true.
So, but regardless of that, Michael Carter right behind him is just as good. So, not just as good, but Michael Carter is a very good backup. If that's like your number 2, no offense, Michael Carter at number 2 is better than all the Bills running backs, better than
Yes.
Miami's running backs. And I would
Yes.
probably just say Lamondre Stevenson is probably the only one above him in the other conferences. So, I mean,
Yes.
since looking at that rating, I'd probably just go Jets, Patriots, Miami, Buffalo.
Yeah,
That's
I'm do the same. Unless we can count Josh Allen as a running back, I have to go
no. We put him in the
Jets,
category of quarterback.
Jets, Patriots. The last two, honestly, I don't even. I mean, Mostert's okay. I mean, maybe Mostert. Okay, so then maybe Dolphins, Bills. Like the Bills have just failed Josh Allen. Like, get this man a running back, like decent running back, like Damian Harris. I don't think he's going to play. Didn't he like tear something? And then James Cooks is like, eh. Latavius Murray is just kind of old at this point. He had some good years, in Houston, but
Mm-hmm.
man, it's just sad, man. Looking at the
Yeah,
Bills the past couple of years, no running back. Took the
yeah. So their
took the
starting
pressure
running
off of
back this
Allen.
year is James Cook. And one of the knocks on James Cook was he never was the full-time running back at Georgia either.
No,
So that's why everyone was saying that it's questionable why they haven't picked up a running back yet, because your starting running back never even played a full season as a starter in college. So, and
yeah,
his breakout moments in the NFL so far, I mean, they've been okay, but I know in terms of, I picked him up for fantasy just maybe because he could do something. In terms of fantasy, he never really had any outstanding performance. I mean, I remember Max, he had like 70 rushing yards in a game. So,
I feel
and
like
that
he's
was
more of
this.
a pass catcher anyway. Like Singletary was like between the tackles, occasionally catch a ball, but Cooks was just like a third down guy catching passes like screens or just like little out routes, get him 5 yards, whatever they needed for first down. Like, I don't know how he's going to look at this, being the number one guy. Like you said, he wasn't that in college. Now he's thrust into the role in the NFL. I don't know how it's going to serve him.
Mhm. I mean,
All
moving
right.
on to receiving cores now. Um, some new additions to, like you said, to the Patriots. Mike Gesicki is now on the
Mhm.
Patriots as a
For
tight end.
cheap, too. For cheap.
Cheap too. They still had Hunter Henry as well, so questionably doubling up on the tight ends, trying to do something, I guess, cutesy. Try to get back to. I'm not going to say the old way Belichick was running the game, but we also have to throw back. There was a point in time when
He
it was
loves his double tight ends. He loves
Gronk and
two tight ends.
Hernandez at one point, and
Yes.
they just destroyed. And it's hard to go
Destroy.
against two good tight ends.
Yeah.
And then you look on the other side for other teams like the Bills. Not much shaking around. Not much has changed. The only
Yeah,
thing they
Dalton
really
Kincaid.
did was Kincaid. The only thing they added was Kincaid, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. You got for the Jets. I mean, they added McCole Hardman. I think that was a great pickup. Alan Lazard, obviously, for Aaron Rodgers. Randall Cobb for Aaron Rodgers. Last year, CJ Uzma and Tyler Conklin did the job perfectly well. So they didn't really fix it or fix anything up from last year in terms of tight end.
Yeah.
They were pretty much set on that. But then when you go to this Dolphins team, oof. You got Tyreek Hill, you got Jalen Waddle, then you got tight end wise, nothing.
Yeah. Nothing there.
Nothing. So, as a full package, in my slight opinion, I still would take the double trouble in Tyreek and Waddle. Then I'd
Okay.
probably take the Jets. Then I'm definitely going to go with the Bills, and then I'm going to go with New England. But I don't want to. I don't want to say like it's like all far out, like everyone's above anyone. I think they're all in a nice little meeting. They all do something differently than another team does. I think matchup wise, New England's going to be a real problem because they're the only, besides the Jets, but in a different way, they're the only team that's strictly gone towards we're going to double up on tight end and make it difficult in the middle for you. The Jets kind of did that with Conklin and CJ Uzma, but they're not the same tier as Hunter Henry and Gesicki. Gesicki's also a little bit faster than both of the Jets guys. But the Jets guys can also move out into the run game as well. So that's kind of why the Jets guys are in the way they are. In my opinion, the Bills tight end room we don't know what Kincaid move to the pros is going to look like. Yeah. Dawson Knox has always been a hit or miss for me. He's one of those guys. Him and Gabe Davis are just the guys that Gabe Davis just tells Dawson Knox, yeah, I show up this game, you show up next game. And neither one of them can they can never show up on the same day. So that's why I also have Stephon Diggs. I get Stephon Diggs as 100% top 5 wide receiver. It's just the rest of his receiving core always just seems to be non-existent. And that's why you got Josh Allen running around all the time. Because only one of them wants to show up on any other night.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I'm going to agree with you. Dolphins is definitely the best just because of those two guys, those two speedsters. Tyreek Hill's a top 5 receiver. Waddle, top 15, arguably. I mean, those guys can just flat out run, get past anybody, blow coverages, have defenses looking silly. So I have to pick them number 1, even though the tight ends aren't too hot, for the second spot, it's tough because the Jets, I feel like their talent is there, but it's not like the Bills just have Diggs. I feel like is just crazy good. So I know Gabe Davis shows up every other game, but I feel like with Dalton Kincaid, he did really well in college. This past draft was really, really a tight end draft. A lot of good talents, and Kincaid was probably the best one. So just off of potential, I'm going to go Bills second, Jets third, Patriots fourth. But like you said, Patriots, with those two tight ends, they're going to be hard to cover. And Mac Jones, just like Tom Brady, likes to dink and donk. So you have a bunch of dink and donkers. I mean, Juju doesn't really – he can't run faster than me. Devontae Parker, he's so hurt, probably still can't run faster than me. So these guys are going to be running short to intermediate routes. Nothing probably more than 10 to 15 yards. Hunter Henry, tight end, so he's not, maybe a seam up the middle, but Mac Jones has shown that he doesn't like to go deep in his he's been in the league, 2 years, going on his third? Yeah, so they're going to be tough to cover. Definitely trying to cover two tight ends, especially in the red zone. Gesicki's a red zone target. He's going to catch some touchdowns. You're going to watch him try to do the gritty and epically fail, but they easily halfway through the season when we kind of reassess the divisions, I guess, I could easily see the Patriots moving to a third spot, taking over from the Jets or the Bills, depending on how everyone kind of handles halfway through the season. I could see some reshuffling, definitely. So after that, we have offensive line. Now, we will always say we're not the best at critiquing and identifying offensive lineman talent, but I feel like you can just tell how a team can run the ball, how well the quarterback, is protected. So I think for me, I'm going to go New England first. I feel like New England always has a solid offensive line. They can always run the ball too. So just based off last year, I feel like Ramondre Stevenson that man was getting 5 yards every carry, I swear.
Oh, 100%.
I wish I picked him up for fantasy, but I don't know. For whatever reason, I slept on him. I won't be doing that this year. I'm definitely going to have him on my radar, but I would say Patriots first. And then from there, I feel like it's a toss-up between the Bills and Jets. I mean, Josh Allen just runs around a lot. The Jets, they did run the ball well when Breece Hall was not injured, and then when he got hurt, whoever backed him up did pretty well. So maybe I'll do Jets second, Bills third, Dolphins fourth. I don't see the offensive line getting any better. How about you?
So I'm gonna match you directly. I'm just gonna add the Jets' offensive line running wise is awesome. Something that made them get a bad rep last year. I think the only thing that's problem with this offensive line is McCall Beckham, and this is his 4th year now. He's their left tackle. He just doesn't look like he's mentally like. I don't want to say got it, but like he's confidence is back. He just keeps coming off injuries, and they did a good job getting Dwayne Brown last season to cover in for him to start here and there, dink and dunk different games to fill in for Mekhi Becton. But he's 37 years old now, and if you have to ask Dwayne Brown to play a whole nother season again, or a majority of a season again, don't like the odds, and I don't like the thought of that. So a little bit questionable there.
Laman can play for a long time, too. Look at Andrew Whitworth. He played until what? He was 38, 39?
Yeah, I think he was 41.
Damn.
But I think Armstead on the Dolphins is a good shout. The only problem is everything else around him is a little sus. Yeah. Armstead the last couple of seasons has just been going kind of down. He's been getting hurt all the time. So definitely New England first. Then I'm going to go Jets, only because last year, one of the reasons they were critiqued so often is because they allowed a lot of sacks. Well, Zach Wilson also did hold the ball a lot.
Yeah,
so
that was his
I will
thing,
also
too.
chime that in. He did hold the ball a little too long a lot of the times. You're not going to get that with Aaron Rodgers. That ball is either going out of bounds after no more than 4 seconds. Hasn't found a target in 4 seconds and the pocket's moving around. He's throwing it out of bounds. Yep. So you're not really going to have to worry about that way. Bills, I don't think there's much difference between the Bills and the Jets. I just think that the Jets have a proven run game and the Bills don't. So I'm just going to give the edge to the Jets. Go from one line to the other line. You got the Patriots Patriots D line, Jets D line, and Miami D line. No, this is something that I think every team in the division does well is D line.
Yes.
Just all across the board. Personally, I just got to put it out there. Don't be sleeping on the Dolphins D-line. Oof, it's a nasty little D-line. You look at the Jets D-line. This D-line's been good for the last couple seasons, but not much has changed about it. So people kind of know what they're getting, what they're getting out of this team when they have to face them every week. Bills D-line, though, there is one thing that I will say is a little bit of a downer is Von Miller's not going to play for half the season. I know he's technically a linebacker, but Von Miller comes off the D end every time. Well, not every time, but majority of the time. So I'm going to just throw him in there for the D ends.
And that's where he's listed at. So.
Yeah, he's listed as linebacker, but he's really a defensive end. But he's going to miss majority of the season. I think he's not playing until week 6 at best. Week 5, something like that.
Uh-huh.
So that's just 5 straight games, and you're gonna have to ease him into the season. So he's not gonna play for 2 or 3 games at full capacity. They're gonna try to ease him in there.
Yeah,
get him back to full strength. So I think only because of that, I'm gonna go Dolphins, Jets, Patriots, Bills. I don't know. I'm looking at this Patriots D line, and I'm like, I can't do that, man. They're just low key kind of nice.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with any of these picks. If all of them are at full strength, I feel like
they're all at full strength. I might move the Bills up a little more.
There's no. Even then, I feel like there's no wrong answer. I think personally, though, I'm gonna go Jets first. Q Williams is a beast. The rest of the offensive or the defensive line is just scary good. They got 4 guys that can just go after the quarterback. That's insane. Then I'll probably do Dolphins, Patriots, then Bills. But if Von Miller was healthy week 1, I think you're right. Bills probably move at least to number 2. Man, this is just a lot of talent.
Yeah, dude. This is one of those things that okay. If someone's like, hey, you got to pick a D line from any division. And I'm like, okay. Well, give me the AFC South, and I'll pick and choose between the whole entire division because I literally can have the perfect D line if I just pick and pull from each team. I would have like the perfect D line because they're all just so good. But I think the difference is, I think the step up and the step down from linebacker is where all these, I want to say, teams fall into play. Yes, I think they all have pretty good defensive lines, but linebacker wise, personally, I just think the Patriots, even though they never have like, oh yeah, just like a household name. I know Matthew Judon is like a household name now, but he's like 30. It doesn't matter. Every linebacker that plays under Belichick always looks really good. He just knows how to make the best out of his linebackers. And I mean, I'm looking through this linebacking core, and I'm like, dude, I know like a lot of those guys because they were there last year. So that's just another year to get hang out with Belichick and pick his brain. So those guys are automatically going to be a little bit level ahead. Then you got the Bills linebacking core. It's a lot smaller than the rest of them, but I'm not going to knock it. They do like to run a lot of different schemes with their safeties.
They lost, what's his name, Williams, didn't they, to free agency?
But they still got Matt Milano, so he was in the top 100. Oh, you can't be knocking him too hard. And then, I mean, if the Jets are going to be one of those teams like, well, you don't know about them, but they got C.J. Mosley, man. When he stays healthy, they're great. He's great when he stays healthy.
Yeah.
The only problem is he just gets hurt a lot. And Quincy Williams, he's pretty good. So this is also one of those things like linebacking core is really hard to judge. Because if I'm going to be here and just be like, yeah, Dolphins had the weakest linebacking core in this division, but they got Jalen Phillips and Malik Reed right there. I'm just like, man, am I just being a pessimist? Because they also got Brady Chubb, so I'm like, damn.
Yeah, they got Chubb. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, this is a hard one to pick. I might just go. Sorry, Jets. I might have to go New England just because of their coach and how they always every year their linebackers seem to do great, and they got Judon to run it. Then I'm probably gonna go Buffalo, Miami, and Jets. Only reason I went Jets last is because C.J. Mosley is always a flight risk. That's the only reason why.
Okay. I respect that. Yeah, I feel like for me, it's a toss-up. I really can't.
Dude, linebacker wise, all four of these teams are top 15 linebacking core wise.
Yeah. It's just crazy. I mean, Quincy Williams is good. C.J. Mosley is good. Like you said, he's just always hurt. Just based off of, I guess, not even full strength, just what we know now. Yeah, I probably have to go Patriots 1, Dolphins 2, Jets 3, Bills 4. Just because I feel like them losing Tredavion, I feel like it's going to come and haunt them. I know they have to kind of be wise with their money.
Mm-hmm.
They can't pay everybody, especially when you gave Von Miller a bag. But I feel like the defense is going to suffer a little bit just because he was a key player, especially when Von was out. I mean, he pretty much anchored that defense besides him and Von. So I feel like it's going to have repercussions. So I'm going to have to have them at the bottom of my list. And
the most exciting one, man. The most exciting one.
Defensive backs, yes. Who do we think?
Backs, safeties and corners.
The best? I mean, because I feel like this is another. Well, the Bills have good. They're good at safety. Defensive backs, they were getting burnt last year.
Yeah, now, safety wise, they're like
the other three. I feel like if we encompass the whole thing, the whole product, defensive back wise, I feel like the other three is stiff competition. So I'll let you go first. Who do you have as number one?
See, this one's a hard one to break down, right? I think in terms of safeties, Bills and Dolphins are probably my top two. Let me look back at New England real quick. Oh man, see, I like their. Oh man, see, that's hard, man. But if we're gonna go, okay, first I'm gonna break it into sections. Okay, defensive back wise, I'm gonna take the Jets as my first
Yes.
one. Then I'm probably gonna go. I just can't trust the youth on the Patriots right now because they're gonna start Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Buffalo, Miami, New England in terms of defensive back. Safety wise, I'm gonna go Buffalo, probably Miami, New England, Jets. So overall, if I had to look at it, I'm probably gonna go because they got Tre'Davious White. I'm gonna go Buffalo, Jets, Miami, New England. Only because New England has got a lot of young guys. See, here's my thing about Miami, right? I'm not knocking it. But just putting it out there, Jalen Ramsey's been getting cooked the last couple of seasons. And now he's going to start this season hurt.
Yep.
So, and then
they back to December.
So he's already basically gone not over half the season.
Yep.
And then they're like, okay, we got to get a replacement. And then they came to the conclusion, Eli Apple. And
hey, nothing wrong with Eli Apple. Y'all need to stop that. The man keeps getting jobs for a reason. He ain't trash, all right? If you
he ain't good.
If you keep getting jobs, you must be doing something right, all right? So all the haters out there, just leave them alone, all right?
All right, there you go. That's one reason I boomed him down a little bit, because the downgrade from Jalen Ramsey to Eli Apple.
This is true though, but yeah, I think I'm not going to break him down. I just think, like I said, the first three are New England, Miami, and Jets are really competitive. I feel like the Bills, if they had a weak point on defense last year, the secondary was at times god awful, especially when Micah Hyde was out. So I know Tre'Davious White is good, but I can't have the Bills as my number one defensive backs in totality. So I'm going to go Jets, Dolphins, Patriots, Bills. Even though the Patriots are starting Christian Gonzalez, we don't know how he's going to adjust to the pros. But I feel like even, Eli Apple, and then you get Jalen Ramsey back in December, I feel like it'll balance out. Eli Apple's a starting quality defensive back. Now, will he get beat? Sure he will, but I feel like one thing he doesn't get credit for is being like a sure tackler. I feel like he wraps up pretty well. He might get beat deep, but at the very least, he's going to tackle well. And if he, do any defensive back stunts or blitzes, he's going to go get the quarterback. So, yeah, I got Miami second, Jets first.
My only problem with the Jets is the safeties are just a little. They have just a little lack there to be desired. I miss the days of the old safeties for the Jets, but I guess Adrian Amos can hold down the fort back there with Jordan Redhead.
Yeah, but, I like him.
In terms of corners, though, that they had the best. It's just they're just a whole notch above. If Eccles is your number 4 corner, that's just not fair.
Yeah. They just done a really good job with drafting defensive backs, which I feel like is hard to do. I feel like defensive backs are hit or miss, man. You got to really do a lot of good scouting and, try to figure out how their game is going to translate to the pros. So
that DJ Reed pickup was like one of the better things they did. I always thought he was underrated. One of the reasons why, my opinion, DJ works so well with the team is his knock on him is always going to be he's 5'9". It's like, oh, dude, he's a 5'9" corner.
Yeah.
Dude, you can be a 5'9" corner when your other corner on the other side of the field is 6'3". And the other corner, he's 6'3", but he can go to both sides of the field. So you don't have to worry about when you get, DK Metcalf on you, because we're just gonna put sauce on you.
I feel like corner is the one spot where height doesn't really matter. As long as you're athletic, can keep up, technique as well. You don't need to be 6'2", 6'3". Like, there's plenty of smaller corners that have done very well. And when you think about it, like, how many times are you really going to find yourself in a jump ball situation? Like, maybe once every other week. It's not going to be every game you're going to have a jump ball situation, and just because you're like, 3 or 4 inches shorter than the guy, it's really going to make a difference. I feel like it's more rare than people think, especially like coming from.
Not even that though.
I mean, high school doesn't compare to NFL, but like, there's guys. I'm 5'10". I went against guys that were 6'3", 6'4". I rarely had to go up for a jump ball, and if I did, all you gotta do is
Jump
stay in front
balls
of the
are
guy and put your hand up.
Yeah,
You
half
just
the
wish for
time
the
jump
best.
balls are at the end of games anyways. There's already 4 or 5 guys around the guy anyways. So
Yeah. So I feel like height's not important. So I think
that's always been the knock on DJ Reed. I don't really think there's ever a problem having a shorter corner. Half the time it makes them more elusive, just like the slot guy anyways. It also helps you when you're having to go against a route runner. Oh, dude, if my legs aren't as long as that guy, but he's a good route runner, but my legs are just a little bit shorter, I can move my feet a little quicker than he can. I can make the adjustment better than another guy can.
The shorter guys usually have better techniques.
Plus, if you're going to knock on him, okay, like I said, you can bully me, but you can't bully the guy across from me who's 6'3". Yeah, you're going to try to go up on me every time. It's not like DJ Reed has to go against Calvin Johnson every play. It's just not happening.
Especially receivers, I feel like, are getting shorter. We're not seeing Randy Mosses and T.O.s anymore, or Calvin Johnsons. Like, a lot of these guys they're not really that big. I mean, let's be honest. What's the big receivers now are like, what, Mike Evans and
what, A.J. Brown? Is
A.J. Brown? I feel like A.J. Brown's like probably 6'2", 6'3". It's not like Mike Evans is like, what, 6'5"? Mm-hmm. He's huge. You don't really see big receivers anymore. I mean, Justin Jefferson's probably, he's like tall, but like lanky tall. So it's not even like you have like a Megatron coming after you who can just like shove you out the way. And that's how he's open. I feel like that's just not how the NFL is built anymore.
No, I think they've transitioned away from that.
Yeah, very much so. But I feel like that covers all the positional groups. We've done the records. We've done the playoff teams. I feel like last words, AFC East is going to be tough. Probably, would you say the toughest division in the AFC? I feel like they're right up there. We haven't talked about the AFC West yet, but
it's either AFC East or AFC West. I think the only reason why the AFC East is a little tougher, this just might be my knock on the Raiders, but I just don't think the Raiders are like a playoff contending team. I think if certain things go right for the Patriots, they can be a playoff contending team. And they're like the team that everyone ranks the worst in this division. But if certain things go right for the Patriots, they can easily playoff contend. I just don't think that's the same thing you can say about the Raiders. I don't know if they really can playoff contend.
I'm right there with you. And there's questions. I feel like there's more questions with the Broncos and Raiders versus the Dolphins and Patriots. I feel like for them it's just strictly offense. With the Raiders and Denver, I feel like it's multiple problems. So we'll dissect it more next episode, but I feel like, AFC East, toughest division in the AFC. But we got to move along, folks. We are moving to rapid fire. So when we come back, we have rapid fire, and of course, we have good old trivia. So stay tuned. Time to kick off rapid fire. And for today's episode, we're going to, talk about the NFL players' top 100 list. The full list is already out, but since we took our little hiatus, we will break down. I think we got 60 through 31 today, and then we'll finish with the rest of the list on Monday. So let's kick it off. I'm going to read 10 at a time, just like we did the previous episodes, and then we can react. So first up, we have 60 through 51. At number 60, we have Cowboys Trevon Diggs. 59, Broncos safety Justin Simmons. 58, we have Jeffrey Simmons, Titans, defensive tackle. 57, we have Jordan Poyer, Bills safety. 2 Cowboys back-to-back. We got Dak Prescott at 56. 55, we have Tony Pollard. 54, we have the Panther. We have Brian Burns, linebacker. 53, Mike Evans. 52, Jonathan Allen, tackle, defensive tackle, Commanders. And 51, we have Aaron Rodgers. So, Lawrence, any issues with, I guess, the last of the top, or I guess it's the bottom half of the 100?
I could say that I think Dak Prescott's a little high.
Yeah.
In my opinion, okay, so I actually didn't know the statistic until I was looking at it earlier. Do you know Dak Prescott had more interceptions than any other quarterback last year?
And he say he's not going to throw he's only going to throw 10 or less this year.
And he didn't play in 4 games, so he led the league in interceptions, and he played 4 less games than some other guys. So questionable making Dak so high. I think only because he's a Cowboy that he's this high. I think it's well deserved for Tony Pollard, though. I think he finally got some spotlight last year, which got him his bag. Well, not his bag, but got him his contract in order to take over as a leading back. Sad he got a little injured. I'm a little biased. I think Jeffrey Simmons is a little low, but Titans didn't do anything amazing last year, so I think it's fine. Overall, outside of the Dak Prescott being too high, no, I think all these guys are well deserved to be in the top 100. Yeah. Sure, I can fight around where they should be ranked, but as long as most of these guys are in the top epsilon, which you're 50 through 60, you're doing fine for yourself. Not even gonna lie. The only beef I may or may not have outside of this is Brian Burns should be ranked 53 and not 54 because his jersey number is 53. That's a little slight thing you could have just changed real quick. No one would have known it. Yeah. But it would have been really cute and fun to see. But, maybe Brian Burns is better than Mike Evans. Mike Evans did drop a really important ball last year.
He dropped him straight in the hand. Let's just not talk about that.
I'm just talking about against the Panthers, man. Mike Evans had a rough season last year, but I think he's got most 1,000-yard seasons in a row or something like that. So.
Yeah. He's a beast. He's a baller for sure.
Let's see if he gets it done again. Let's see if he gets it done again with Baker Mayfield as quarterback. Any problems for you, or you in my boat with Dak?
I feel like Dak's not a top 10 quarterback, so he probably shouldn't be on the list, especially when you miss 4 games and you have the most turnovers of any quarterback. Probably shouldn't be on the list, but like you said, he's a Cowboy, so it's probably that's why he's on there. And also, I'm sure a lot of the viewers have seen the full list. I feel like the players don't know what the hell they're talking about. So at first I was giving this list some credit, but after seeing the full thing, I'm very disappointed in the players. So, but I feel like everyone else besides Dak deserves to be on there. Even though Tony Pollard's split carries with Zeke, he did really well with the limited touches he had. So I feel like he deserves to be on the list. Probably a little bit high, but I'm not going to complain. But moving on, starting at 50, we have Saints DN Cameron Jordan. 49, Broncos corner Patrick Surtain. 48, Hassan Reddick. 47, Cooper Kupp. 46, CJ Mosley. 45, Cameron Hayward. 44, we got Jalen Waddle. 43, we have Demario Davis from the Saints. 42, Kirk Cousins. 41, we have Lane Johnson. For me, I feel like no issues. Cooper Kupp, I feel like if I had to pick one, it'd probably be him. Probably shouldn't be top 50, especially when you missed a lot of games last year, but he's a beast. I can see why he made the top 50, but
he missed 8 games.
Yeah, Lawrence, what do you think? Any major problems with the top? Any of these people that made the top 50?
No. At first I was going to say Kirk Cousins, but no. When you look back at the schedule last year and then the way the Vikings really finished off the season,
yeah.
Kirk Cousins, we know what we get. You got him a lot of wins. he makes one of the other things about Kirk Cousins. He makes his wide receiver look good too, which as a wide receiver is something that you want a lot of to make a quarterback make you look good. And then you look at the little docu-series of him, and he's like a family guy and everything. It just makes it really hard to dislike Kirk Cousins.
He really does.
So, leave him there. He's not hurting anyone. I'm glad CJ Mosley finally played a full season for the Jets. And, as long as he stays healthy again this season, I think 46 is completely justified. I think it's a great spot for him. Maybe, in my personal opinion, I think Hassan Reddick for the Eagles is a little low. Off the season he came off with the Panthers, and again, he basically just did it right over again with the Eagles, and was a big part of the reasons why they went to the playoffs. Big reason why they went to the Super Bowl. When I'm putting him at 48, just was a little just bogus, in my opinion, for me. Especially when we move up a little further in this next series from 30 through 40. It was when I think certain things started getting a little bit more questionable. I started thinking that once you get to 30 and 40, in my opinion, I say it starts getting questionable. Because at this point on in the list, I think everyone's just here because of name value, not because of actually what they did last season. And I think you're noticing that a lot of people, almost in this section alone, are just getting the short end of the stick just because their name's not as, I guess, valued. Like Hassan Reddick should be higher than a few guys on the next part of this list. Even Jalen Waddle could be higher than some of those other guys above him.
I agree.
Lane Johnson for the Eagles. No offense. I just think Lane Johnson does a little bit better job than his counterpart, Jason Kelce. So,
okay, hot take right there. When we get through this next part of the list, this is where they completely lost me. I lost all respect for the players. They don't lost their damn mind. Let's start this.
Hit him with it, dude.
Number 40, we have Jets defensive tackle Q Williams. Number 39, we got Jamar Chase. 38, we got Chargers linebacker Khalil Mack. 37, we got Jason Kelce. 36, we got Jalen Ramsey. 35, we got Christian McCaffrey. 34, we got CD Lamb. 33, we got Patriots linebacker Matthew Judon. 32, we got Justin Herbert. And 31, we got Saquon Barkley. This is ridiculous. Jamar Chase is arguably the best receiver in football. This man is at number 39, and CD Lamb is above him. Really?
Cowboy.
Really? CD Lamb had to get Amari traded just in order for him to become the number one. And then when he did at the beginning of the season, he was dropping everything. The man had bricks for hands. Come on, bro. This is ridiculous. Jalen Ramsey, we've talked about this multiple times. The dude just keeps getting beat the past 2 or 3 seasons. He's just getting burnt. Still can tackle well, but in terms of coverage, he's kind of losing a step. Herbert, I don't think he can. Is just not a top 35 player. He's just unproven in the playoffs. Name, record, value, and I would probably switch Saquon and Christian McCaffrey. I feel like, even though Saquon was the reason why the Giants were so good, I feel like the 49ers didn't take off until they got Christian, and then they were damn near unbeatable. And it took for their quarterback to get knocked out and broke his elbow for them to lose. So
it literally took them losing all quarterbacks on their team, not just their one quarterback. It literally lost all their quarterbacks, and then they threw out the question. They were like, "Oh, should we just throw Christian McCaffrey at quarterback? YOLO?" If your name gets popped up there to just play quarterback, and you're a running back, and you're not even in the top 30, that's just a little questionable. The Christian McCaffrey was, I'm not going to say the only reason why the Panthers were worth watching before he got traded, but he was the only Panther on that team offensively that looked like just miles above the rest of the team.
Yeah.
I think once he got traded, the Panthers evened themselves out a little bit in order to just take the weight off one guy. But, dude, He was literally carrying the Panthers halfway through the season just to get traded to the 49ers. I'm not going to say he carried the 49ers anywhere, but, dude, the 49ers looked unbeatable as soon as they got him.
Yeah.
And you just saw the whole entire franchise just change. Like, they would have won the game against the Eagles if they didn't lose. They had a quarterback. I'm going to say they didn't lose their quarterback. If they just had a quarterback, they probably would have won. They had really would have a chance. Justin Herbert is just so overrated. Like,
yes.
We're putting this guy in the top 40. He hasn't even won a playoff game yet. He had everything handed to him to win a playoff game, and the guy who's ranked 96 beat him in the playoff after throwing three interceptions.
Yep.
How big of a fall off did you have to have in order for the guy who threw 3 interceptions in the first half to come back and beat you in the second half?
Yep.
Jamar Chase is top 5 wide receiver, borderline top 5 wide receiver. He's somewhere in the top 5, top 6, guaranteed top 6. How's he so far down? I don't know. Jalen Ramsey's too far up. I think Jason Kelsey's fine where he is. I just like Lane Johnson a little bit more. I think he gets the crowd going a little bit more than well, maybe not anymore because Jason's super popular now because of his brother and everything. But
yeah,
dude, I don't know. This is also gonna be my hot take. Khalil Mack has been, in my opinion, just mid on the Chargers.
Not good.
I don't think he's bad. I just think he's
not
kind of
up to the hype.
He kind of should be ranked around where Mike Evans and Brian Burns should be, kind of thing.
Yeah. I feel like he is supposed to have like a Von Miller type of effect. I mean, Von Miller was really, really good in Buffalo before he got hurt, and Khalil Mack was supposed to have the same effect on the Chargers, and the Chargers defense just was mid all last year.
Oh, they can't stop the run.
And he's a linebacker. That's part of his job. So I feel like
part of your job is to stop the run.
Yeah, so I feel like for them to really blow that lead and just let the Jaguars get back into that game, good chunk of the blame has to go on Khalil Mack. So I don't know why he's a top 50 player. He should be right outside the top 50, if that.
Yep, totally agree.
Yeah,
it's very interesting that they got 2 Chargers in the top 30. Top 30 right here. Actually, no. If we just go one more up, Derwin James is at 30. So, like, between 30 and 40, they got 3 Chargers, and they're a part of one of the biggest busts in postseason history.
Yeah, ridiculous, man. Just straight up ridiculous. Moving along before I start ranting on this list, it makes me very upset. We have trivia, so let's get on with that. I guess you can start first. I think I went first last episode, so let's have you go. What kind of question do you have for me today?
All right. Since we're in the AFC East, I kept the question in the AFC East. As of 2022, can you guess what Bill Belichick's record all-time against rookie quarterbacks is?
Oh, what the hell? I don't know. I don't know how many games he's gone against rookie quarterbacks.
All right. So I'll hit you with it. His record all-time against rookie quarterbacks is 21-6. How many of those 6 losses do you think you can name?
Over the past 20 years, right?
So his first loss to a rookie was in 2004. And his last loss to a rookie was in 2020.
Okay, I'll try to name the 6 losses. Probably,
just as many as you can.
I feel like Donovan, was he one?
Nope.
Okay. I think Joey beat him, right?
Nope.
Oh.
I'll let you throw a few more out there. This is a pretty tough one. There's 2 on here that once I say it to you, you're like, oh yeah. The rest of them, they're like, whoa.
Probably Peyton.
Not Peyton.
Okay. I'm trying to think the recent ones. 2020. Was it
This is
Herbie?
also no, it wasn't Herbie, but the guy in 2020 actually has a winning record against Bill Belichick. One of the few quarterbacks to have a winning record against Bill Belichick. I'll give you another hint. He's an AFC East quarterback.
No, it was Tua.
Tua. Tua actually has a winning record against Bill Belichick.
All right. The other ones, I'm gonna throw out a couple more guesses, but 20 years is a lot of quarterbacks to go through.
A lot of quarterbacks, only 6 to beat him. 21 failed.
I guess what about Josh Allen? Did he beat him?
Nope.
Okay. Mahomes didn't play as a rookie. So
would you like to hear the years so you can try to have an idea of where to guess at? So his losses came in 2004, 2012, 2009, 2020, which was Tua, 2013, and 2010. So at one point,
I feel like Bill
Belichick hadn't lost in 7 years. Bill Belichick went 7 years without losing to a rookie.
I'm trying to guess the oldest one. I feel like that's probably the hardest though. But
once I tell you the oldest one, you're gonna go, oh yeah.
Was it Carson Palmer?
Nope. Want me to just give you the list?
Let me get a couple more. Some of the other ones. Eli?
Eli did not beat him as a rookie.
Let's see here. Trying to think of rookie quarterbacks that played the first year.
So I will give another hint. 2 of them were in the AFC East. So you got Tua and then 2 more AFC East.
Mark Sanchez?
Mark Sanchez beat him in 2009.
Okay. I'm trying to think. So it's probably another. Was it Tyrod?
Was not Tyrod.
Who was another Dolphins quarterback? Teddy?
It was not a Dolphins quarterback.
Oh, Teddy was a rookie at the Vikings. Fuck.
And it was not a Bills quarterback either.
It wasn't a Dolphins or Bills?
Nope.
This is another Jet. So it was another Jet quarterback.
Jet.
Chad Henne?
It was not Chad Henne.
It was another Jets quarterback as a rookie. Geno?
Geno Smith beat him in 2013.
All right, so I got like 3 out of 6, right?
You got 3 out of 6 right now. You want me to just tell you the rest of them?
Yeah, I got half. Just tell me the rest.
All right. So in 2004, Big Ben took down the mighty Patriots.
Okay. Yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah.
In 2012, Russell Wilson successfully took down the Patriots. In 2009, Mark Sanchez successfully took down the Patriots. In 2020, Tua Tagovailoa successfully took down the Patriots, and then proceeded to go 3-0 against Bill Belichick. So mark that. Geno Smith went into Foxborough and beat them in 2013. And then lastly, the one I knew you weren't going to get, Colt McCoy in 2010. The Peyton Hillis game.
Damn.
That was the game that made Peyton Hillis famous because he absolutely destroyed the Patriots almost by himself. But don't let it fool you, Colt McCoy did do a lot that game. The 2-5 Browns were able to successfully beat the Patriots. And not just beat them, blow them out.
Yeah, that was a tough one just because of not only you have to go through 20 years, but the Patriots have been good for like 18 out of the 20. So it's like, who could have beat Tom Brady? Who could have outscored Tom Brady but also like have a good enough defense. So it makes sense. All those teams kind of met that criteria. So that makes sense. That was a good one. For me, another NBA question. I feel like this one might be the easiest one I've done.
Sure.
So since 2000, who has scored the most points in the Eastern Conference besides GOAT LeBron James?
You said the Eastern Conference? I thought LeBron James since. Wait, you said 2000.
Since 2000. So
I thought you were going to say 2020, man. I was
nope.
about to be like, wait, he hasn't been in the East. Oh, man, 2000, bro?
So you did 20 years for me. You got to go back 20, 20
Yeah, but
years
who
for
played
me.
that long?
So you got to
Something,
think about it like
something,
this. It has to be
something.
someone who played a long time plus who can score a lot of points consistently.
Dwayne Wade?
That's one.
Okay. I had a gut feeling it was Wade.
It has to be someone who played the majority of their career in the East.
Yeah, that's also one I'm having to think about, man. Don't let it fool you. I'm thinking about it, okay? I'm really thinking
You
it.
got one off the rip. That's good.
I just had a gut feeling it was Wade because Wade was always a Miami Heat.
Not always, but went
Okay.
to Chicago, then went to Cleveland.
We knew him always in Miami Heat, pretty much. But he stayed in the East. How many is it?
Well, I'm only asking for the top three, but I know of four.
Oh, I'm only asking for the top three, but I know of four. Oh man, real nice of you. Eastern Conference played forever. Trying to think back on those old Celtics teams. Like a part of me wants to go Paul Pierce.
That's two.
Okay, Paul Pierce. He was just in there forever. Let's see here. Someone who always stayed in the East. Always hopped around the East. Is this going to be some random guy that I can't think of? Who's just kind of bounced around the league a lot? But always scored a lot.
Wouldn't say random guy. He was a star when he played. He did bounce around a lot, but like majority of his points was when he was with Eastern Conference teams.
Cool, man. That's cool. That's cool.
I didn't give you a hint. He bounced around a lot.
I don't know who bounced a lot. Bounced around a lot. Told you, man. I didn't follow NBA that hard until my boy Kemba Walker went and got into the league.
Now he's in Europe.
Hey, man, don't be hating on him like that, dog. You better watch your tone. Better watch it, dog. I ain't gonna play that kind of game. Anywho, no, see, a part of me wants to say Carmelo, but I know he didn't spend enough time in the East.
See, Carmelo was Nugget before he went to the Knicks.
I know
Then
he
he
didn't
went
spend
back.
enough
Then he
time.
went back to the West.
Oh yeah, because Oklahoma City is in the West, even though it could easily be in the East if they wanted to make it in the East. Man. Whoa, Derrick Rose?
No, I don't think
Too injured.
Too injured. Plus, he only had a couple seasons of like scoring high numbers. Do you need a hint?
Yeah, I would take a hint. I would love a hint.
He retired not too long ago. You'll probably remember him from his time in Toronto.
Oh, one who won the dunk contest? Vince Carter.
Yep, that's number 3. See, that was a pretty
Yeah.
easy one. You got the first two off the rip. You just need a little help with Vince Carter.
It did help that man play until he's like 41, right?
Yeah. See, he played majority in the East. I think his only West team was like when he played for the Mavs
Mm-hmm.
For a couple seasons. But and then number 4 was DeMar. If you would have guessed DeMar.
Oh, DeRozan?
Yeah.
You know, I actually thought about saying DeMar DeRozan, but I didn't think he was that old.
Yeah, DeMar's been around a decent amount of time. I would say so. Yeah.
How old is DeMar DeRozan?
He's
'Cause
probably, I think he's going into his 14th or 15th season.
Because I thought him and Colorado would probably be around the same amount of points range. Because they were best buddies for the longest time. Oh, he's 34. Yeah, that's pretty old.
34 was in the 09 draft. So, yeah, he's his like 13th or 14th season.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So,
I was a little got. I mean, I think I got 2 of them pretty quick.
yeah.
I think the one that you didn't think I was going to get was Paul Pierce.
No, I definitely thought you definitely should have got Paul Pierce and Dwayne. I just thought Vince Carter would kind of get you.
Man. Yeah, I got. Didn't get the Vince Carter. He just didn't come to mind.
It's
I don't know why.
understandable. It's understandable. All right, ladies and gents, that's the end of trivia for today's episode. Before we get out of here, Lawrence, do you have anything? Any last words, comments? We've been gone for a while. Anything you want to shout out?
Well, shout out to the Premier League. They're going to start their season tomorrow. Excited for that. New season for Crystal Palace let me down. I hope all the Tottenham fans out there. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough few days. If he does leave you, pour one out for the boys. That's all I can say about Harry Kane possibly going.
Pour one out for Harry Kane. For me, just want to shout out the NFL for announcing NFL, Plus Premium. Basically, you can get Red Zone and NFL Network for like $15 a month now. So we don't need to overpay for Sling anymore. Because I think before, the cheapest way to get Red Zone on your TV was to have Sling, and then you have to subscribe to like their
Orange, I think.
premium, the Orange plus their like premium sports package was like another $15 or $17. Which is just it's like absurd. It's just if you just want to watch football, like I feel like it's absurd. Now you can just pay $15 a month, or I think it's like $100 a year, or for the season, and you get Red Zone on your TV plus NFL Network. It's a pretty good deal. So I will not be subscribing to Sling coming this NFL season. So I'll have Red Zone on my TV, and I'll have NFL Network for I don't know anything else they want to show. So shout out to NFL, shout out to USA Basketball for beating Puerto Rico. It looked kind of rough in the beginning, but Austin Reeves and
Didn't the select team beat the World Cup team?
Hey, let's not talk about that. All right, the select team's pretty good. Okay, but at least if we can beat up Puerto Rico, it's some good confidence.
Okay, yeah, you beat up a bunch of guys who play baseball and soccer instead of playing basketball. But
yeah, they got some good players. They were actually kind of competing the first half. I didn't watch the second half because it was getting pretty late, but they did pretty well for themselves. The real test is when we play. I think we have a scrimmage against Canada soon, so if we can't beat Canada, we're chalked. It's over. I think that's it. Folks. We're back. It took us about 2 weeks, but we're back with episode 26. Hope you guys enjoyed. Follow us on social medias. You already know. It'll be scrolling on the bottom. Make sure to follow those. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment. Every single one of our videos helps the channel out. But other than that, this is MTL Sports Podcast, episode 26, and we will see you next week. Peace out, y'all.
me, we